After another bad double-digit loss, with Devin Booker just dropping 10 points on 39 minutes, it just looks like it might be the end for Devin Booker. And what I mean by that is Devin Booker's tenure in Phoenix might be over. What is up, y'all, and welcome back to another video. And today, we're going to be talking about Devin Booker. But before we get into everything, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe. We're trying to grow our channel as much as possible, so be along for the ride, and let's get into it now. So obviously, I made a video in the past. Make sure you guys check that out about Devin Booker and him possibly being traded. But today, we're going to be talking about more advancements in that process and where I think he will be going. And you guys probably already see that in the title, so there's nothing to spoil. But I think he's going to be going to the Detroit Pistons. As we got a tweet from Legion Hoops saying a Western Conference executive recently said that Devin Booker to the Pistons is 80 to 90% likely to come to fruition, and obviously in the offseason. And this is per The Athletic, so, take that as you will. But, I mean, it's kind of credible, so you got to think about that. If someone told them who's a Western Conference insider, then that might mean something big, right? And let's just talk about Devin Booker and possibly his fit with Detroit, because I actually like that move and I like that acquisition from Detroit a lot, in my opinion. And I would have to imagine that someone like a Jaden Ivey would have to be thrown in multiple first-round picks, maybe a Tobias Harris for contract issues, maybe a Tim Hardaway Jr. for contract issues. I think Tim Hardaway Jr. is actually expiring this year. Maybe I'm wrong, but if he isn't, then you would throw him in. Maybe even Malik Beasley, even though he's been hooping this year, maybe you throw him in there than a bunch of first-round picks. That would probably get it done, but, maybe I'm wrong. I'm not an NBA GM, so I don't really know exactly his true price, but something around that realm would make sense for Devin Booker. And if you guys can keep Asar Thompson, Jalen Duren, I feel like you guys are in good shape. Or when I'm saying you guys, I'm talking about the Pistons. And the reason I see the Pistons doing this is they're having a big jump here. They're going to be a playoff team, or they're going to be a play-in team at the worst. And, to make that next jump, you're going to need to make a trade for a big star or sign a big star. And Detroit, spoiler alert, they're not a big market. So the way they're going to get another star is through the trade market. And I feel like Devin Booker is it's his perfect time. I mean, his value is probably at an all-time low. He just, he's obviously not in it mentally with the Suns because their season is kind of over. They're going to be a play-in team at best, and they're probably going to get bounced out. And, I mean, the best chance is they're going to get first-rounded. So, Phoenix, he's probably checked out a little bit. Obviously, he loves the city of Phoenix, or he loves the state of Arizona. And it just, I don't know, I just feel like it's just all coming down. It's just a weird situation because obviously he's going to say he likes the team, he likes his organization. But at the end of the day, it's what's best for his career. And I feel like staying in Phoenix is not the best decision for his career. And a tweet I actually saw also was Devin Booker on the Suns season so far. And he says, "Talent only gets you so far. I've been on teams with less talent that found ways to get more wins. It's just the little things." And in a sense, he is right. I mean, their team is so talented. On paper, their team is really good. However, they just can't get it done for some reason, they just can't win. And I mean, the last few years, they're kind of a solid playoff team, but they weren't really like a title contender, in my opinion. However, it's just their team has always been one of the most talented teams in the league. And when they traded for Bradley Beal, everybody was like, oh my God, this team is going to be crazy. And they never, lived up to expectations. However, him saying this seems like his confidence in the team and his morale. Like, if you think about it in 2K, his morale is at an all-time low, it seems like. Because why would he say this about his teammates? I mean, normally you just keep it quiet if you're happy to be in the situation. And I feel like he either wants a big change to the roster that's not including him, or he wants out. And this is where I think, the Pistons can get him. There's also teams like the Rockets. There's teams like, the Thunder, I've heard. But I feel like the Pistons are a perfect fit. The Rockets would not be bad either, but they do kind of have like a Jalen Green and Ben Thompson. They have ball handlers. I don't feel like, they need another scorer. I feel like they need more of a playmaker on that team. So I feel like the Pistons just make the most sense. Cade Cunningham, really good playmaker. Devin Booker, great scorer, so I feel like he would complement Cade really well. Maybe that defensive backcourt wouldn't be the best, but I mean, Cade Cunningham's a tall point guard, so he'll manage. And they also have, Asar Thompson. If they can try to keep him, he's a defensive stud. Jalen Duren, a defensive stud. So I feel like that Pistons team could be really scary if they get Devin Booker, and they could be a sneaky contender. I'm not going to say they're going to just be a title contender off the rip, but I feel like adding Devin Booker to that team could really boost them up and, scare some East teams. They could definitely take some really good East teams to a deep 6 or 7 series. No 6 and 7, joke intended. I just feel like that is the perfect world for the Pistons if they could get Devin Booker. And I feel like it's also the perfect world for Devin Booker. And another interesting thing I saw, guess where Devin Booker was born and grew up? Grand Rapids, Michigan. I know it's not Detroit, Michigan, but that's the closest to his hometown, so he could be coming home. It's not like he's just going to some random state. He's going home. I feel like it's just perfect. All the lights, all the stars are just pointing to him going to the Pistons in the offseason if he doesn't stay at the Suns. I just feel like it's perfect. It's a perfect case scenario. But, maybe you Suns fans are like, nope, we're not getting rid of him. He wants to stay here, which he did say he wants to stay there. So, there's a chance that it doesn't happen. However, I just feel like that's the best case for his career. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, let me know in the comments. I always like reading those comments, even if there's hate. I like to read it, expand my ball knowledge. I want to see other people's perspectives, so, comment down below. I really am interested in reading those. Like the video, like I said before, subscribe, do all that stuff, man, and we out.